Do you need to make your enterprise file data accessible to S3-based AI and analytics services on AWS? Have you been relying on copying file data to Amazon S3 as a necessary step, only to find that it adds extra operational work, duplication, and security considerations? If you answered yes, then Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP has the answer for you. Allow S3-based AWS services to access file data as if it were stored in an S3 bucket. There is no need to copy or convert data, and your existing user workflows, access permissions, and enterprise-grade security stay exactly the same as before. In this FSx for ONTAP Workloads Inside and Out video, we will show you a simple and secure way to provide your AI and analytics services access to file data stored on FSx for ONTAP using S3 access points. Let's get started. So, your enterprise data is stored in file systems, and you need to bring the data contained in these files into AWS services. Just like this financial company that wanted to modernize their business operations on AWS. They wanted to make their enterprise file data accessible to cloud-native AI and analytics applications on AWS. To do that, they initially planned to copy their existing enterprise file data into S3 buckets, creating a data lake that these services could use for accessing the data. But they soon realized that this would mean duplicating sensitive enterprise data and building complex ETL workflows, and even re-establishing access controls and file permissions for each one of these new services. Fortunately, they were able to completely avoid this complexity by using FSx for ONTAP as the data storage layer and attaching S3 access points to the relevant file volumes, allowing the AWS services to access the file data as if it was stored in S3 buckets. With this model, the company managed to accelerate data-driven innovation with AI and analytics, and they did so without any data duplication, complex ETL, or rewriting access controls. And all of this while preserving their existing data architecture and operating model. Same data, same security, same experience. Want to understand how FSx for ONTAP and S3 Access Point did all of this and what they can do for you? Let's see a technical explanation and hands-on demo that do just that. Amazon FSx for NetApp ONTAP is a fully managed storage service on AWS, powered by NetApp technology. It provides intelligent storage for business-critical workloads designed to optimally address their performance, resilience, and accessibility needs while delivering outstanding cost-performance results. And it does this through a comprehensive, flexible set of storage features. FSx for ONTAP offers block and file storage volumes for applications running on AWS. And now, with Amazon S3 access points, AWS services that require data to be in S3 buckets can access data stored within the file volumes as if it was stored in an S3 bucket. It is no longer necessary to move data outside the secure file system environment or to worry about synchronizing multiple data copies. And even if the data source is an on-premises ONTAP system, it can simply be mirrored to FSx for ONTAP using the built-in snap mirror capability, and then the file data can be accessed via S3 access points. When an S3 access point is attached to a file volume, it is assigned an existing username associated with specific files and folders based on the existing access permissions. This means that different services can access different portions of the dataset, and it's not necessary to expose all the data to each service. Attaching S3 access points to a file volume enables S3 access in addition to the existing NFS and SMB access. The access points can be defined as a read-only or read-write, When given a username with write access to a volume, the S3 access point can add, change, or delete folders in the file volume. Now that we've understood what FSx for ONTAP can do when you attach an S3 access point to its volumes, let's see a hands-on demo. In this example, we will attach an S3 access point to an FSx for ONTAP file volume to enable Amazon Bedrock to scan and index the data contained in the files. Let's look at a generative AI application based on Amazon Bedrock that has a knowledge base which feeds relevant data into the LLM. We now want to allow the knowledge base to access file data created by our enterprise applications. Luckily, this data is stored on FSx for ONTAP, which now supports S3 access points. This means that Amazon Bedrock can ingest the file data directly as if it was stored in an S3 bucket. And since the S3 access point preserves the FSx for ONTAP file permissions, we can do this safely while adhering to corporate data governance and security. Now let's see this feature in action. The first step is to attach an S3 access point to the relevant FSx for ONTAP volume. In this demo, we're going to do it with NetApp Workload Factory, but you can also do it using the AWS Management Console, REST API, or CLI. From the FSx for ONTAP screen, we select the Volumes tab, and then, under the Advanced Settings of the relevant volume, we choose Manage S3 Access Points. Then we click the button to create and attach the S3 access point to the volume. We give the access point a name and then add the relevant username from the access control directory to give the S3 access point the necessary permissions for accessing the files. Then we click the Create and Attach button, and that's it. Now let's connect the Amazon Bedrock knowledge base to the S3 access point in the AWS Management Console. We locate the S3 access point that we attached to the FSx for ONTAP volume. We copy its alias address and add it to the Amazon Bedrock knowledge base. Once all the files in the volume show up as indexed, the GenAI application will be connected to the file data. We can then click the Test Knowledge Base button, select a relevant LLM, and write a prompt related to the file data that we added. The response will contain our added sources, as we can see in both the content and the citation. In the same manner, we can connect our file data to any S3-based application, and even connect our on-premises ONTAP data to these applications by replicating the data to an FSx for ONTAP volume using SnapMirror. In this video, we saw how storage teams can safely leverage enterprise file data for AI and analytics initiatives on AWS using S3 access points attached to FSx for ONTAP. We saw how data can remain in place on FSx for ONTAP or be mirrored from an on-premises ONTAP system using SnapMirror, while AWS services can access it directly. This breakthrough approach makes it possible to enable AI and analytics use cases without copying data, changing permissions, or adding operational complexity. To learn more, check out our other FSx for ONTAP Inside and Out videos. Thank you for watching.